Well, let's just go with the live. Can everybody hear me all right? It wouldn't let me do what I normally do. Let's see here. We'll go back to chat. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, Australians, good morning. The fingers. I'm hoping everybody hears me. The what is a little quiet. This is what you, when you don't know. I guess I gotta bring up my YouTube and see if I'm on there. Oh, that's not good. Turn the volume down. Yeah, I know. Could anybody hear me? It's not even showing up. Oh, you can hear me fine. Okay. Because it messed me up. I didn't know if I was actually presenting live or not. I had hit live and I seen it come on, and then I tried to do that other. You know, when you only do this every 2 weeks now, it's kind of hard to put things together. Plus, I just got home about 15 minutes ago, so it's kind of been a rush night. Man, we got quite a bit of chat going on here already. Let me start from the beginning. All right, we got the fingers, Chris P. We have brother the fingers. Let's put it that way. Live in 6 hours. This must have been earlier. Okay. Let me get out of here. 1800. Oh, 18. We'll start. The fingers, Chris P. Easy Colt. And let's see. Gotta go run through everything. I'm not reading your comments though, so you know. If there's something you need to say, you need to bring it back up. John Tucci, of course. Famous John Tucci. No drama. Welcome. You posting a group dinner. Yeah, I hate my pop-ups. Let's see here. I know I saw more. Rob De Leon. I love the cat, man. I couldn't resist. I was like, oh, yeah. Our cat did that for a while, but she'd bring him back alive. It's still alive. Oh, shit. Let's see here. Mount Dunedin? Dunedin? You know, I used to think that was Dunt Need, and I don't know why I put the T in there when I was thinking of it, but the other night I was looking at it and go, it's not got a T in it. Why am I saying it that way? Let's see. HSF, welcome. Clearwater, always welcome. Always. SPB Steve Slots. Wow, you're new. I haven't seen you before. How you doing? Unless it's just a change of a title. Fox and Walls? Fox and Walls? Yeah. I think I'm catching up. I got my band of thieveries out here. Zepod, yep. What's it? Just a flying visit? Working event set up for the week. Oh, gotcha. Hey, I understand. You gotta do what you gotta do. And my live's kind of set up on that too. I'll tell you here in just a second. I am live. I was not going to. I was going to actually change it due to the fact that everybody knows that I just saw I put the at home racing world. They pop on with lives, and they were talking about maybe doing one tonight. I just did one a couple hours ago, and they did one like 6 hours or 4 hours before that. So you never know when they're going to pop up. But because I'd like to watch it myself, I told them I let them know today I would let the live go to go to that so everybody can be there. I think it's interesting. I think people need to watch that stuff. It's interesting, and you see the creativeness of building cars. Sorry, I'm still going down the list here. Dave Slot Car Asylum, welcome, Brad's. All right. If I don't say your real name, it's because I can't think of it right at the moment. Slot Car Misfits of all scales. Now I know who he is, but I don't know his actual name. You know, it's funny because you get used to knowing them by their channel name rather than their actual real name. But you know their real name, but if you don't associate with them enough, you can't remember it when you go to talk to them. I hate when I do that. My brain jumps so fast anyway. You guys saw my video the other day. I was like, good Lord. That was a pushed video. Because I told Shane I'd get that out so I could show that thing off. And I wanted to because, man, but I wanted to finish my front end on that garage before I did it. And I had a few more things to put in there. I put some pillars on it last night. I still got to paint them, but I put some pillars on the front where the old sign used to be. So I have a pillar on each of the walls for the 10 bay garage. And then the pit girls are standing in front of each one of them. But I got to paint them. So we'll see what happens there. I may have to close this door because they're running in and out of upstairs and everything else. Yeah. And then, of course, we had that one negative comment on my thing the other day. He was talking about, I don't know who he was, talking about credit. He doesn't deserve that much credit. Well, guys, I knew a little bit about it. I'd seen the drawing before I ever saw the product, so I just didn't know that was what he was doing at the time. So you can take that away any way you want to. We can't hear them on their channel. No, I don't think they're running live right at the moment. Or you can't hear what? You can't hear them in the background. Oh, I got you. Never mind. I had to catch up. Sorry. I feel like I'm in a scramble because I got home so late. Because the other night I worked overnight, and then I came back, and then I came home, and I tried to sleep, and I couldn't. So then today I went in, tried to run. I was wanting to be there this morning so I could have more time to get ready for tonight, and that didn't work either. So anyway, we're good. We're good. I had a few things I was going to talk about just going forward because we've talked about building cars, and the other day I was showing you some scenery. I know a lot of people already know this stuff, but there's new people that are probably watching that don't comment. I feel like we need to go back and feed that stuff so people know what they're looking for and what kind of money wise and the interest wise, because I'm a scenery guy. Everybody knows that. No, well, sort of they know it. I've never actually finished the scenery, have I? No, this track will not change. This is staying exactly where it is, and I've got these ideas, and I've got a lot of it in the background that I haven't put on the layout because I can't put it out till later. Not because it's something, well, it's something new, but something you wouldn't be expecting to be on the layout. So it'll be out closer to Christmas, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Well, how's that going? I haven't seen anything. I figured maybe you guys would get back on a track and show us a couple videos there at Fox and Walls. But yeah, there's one I'll tell you right off the bat. No, let me show you the products first. I buy from Magnetic Racing heavily. I've got probably at least 10 kits I haven't built yet. But let's just take this one for instance, without showing the password. I got the barn thing there. It's lit. It's a lit barn. Got the lights in here, and so you pull the parts out. It's like a puzzle piece. You pull all the parts out of it, and then you start assembling. So when you're done, you got all this extra wood. Most people would think, well, I'll just throw it away. I don't need it anymore. I got what I needed out of it. Guys, I'm telling you, don't do that. I have fixed so many things and created so many things. My pile of wood, it's not going to be good lighting, that, I've kept it all. Because I like to also scratch build stuff, so, and that's perfect, because you got the board, you just cut it right. If you need a new signage or something like that, you can cut it up and put it on there. Yes, yeah, exactly, the fingers. I mean, you don't have to. You can throw it away, if you're not planning to do that kind of stuff. I actually found it helpful. Now, I told you guys I ordered that new bridge, which I got it over here. I just got all that stuff yesterday. But at the time, I was looking for the parts to go across because they had broke on mine. Well, if I hadn't asked them to send me some, I could have gone to this and taken that actual page out where those crossovers are like this, uh, had the long straights on it to go across to the other side of the bridge. So what I could have done was I could have measured those, and I could have actually done my own cutting with a uh, jigsaw or whatever, cut it out and put them in myself. It wouldn't have had the same holes or anything, but unless I was really being extra creative. Well, yeah, Rob, I understand that. Um, hey, David, you see slot cars. Um, it's all right. I be honest with you, it's fairly decent. I just don't know how to. They don't explain how to do everything, and I don't. I only come on. Well, I was coming on every week, but I don't have time to mess with it in my spare time to find out how to. Like you see, guys. I think Dick uses it on the Aussie Slot Car Guy show, and he's able to put pictures up and things like that. I have not learned how to do that yet. I know I know where the place is to put it on, so I can have it there. I just don't know how to present it, put it up on the screen. I mean, I could try and do that while I'm here, but last time it left the pictures sitting in front of me. I couldn't see who needs it. Well, men don't need instructions. That's right. We'll wing it. Can't be that complicated, right? Meanwhile, your bathtub's falling through the floor. No, but yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to bring up because I'm like, man, it gets in my way. It's a big pile. Like I don't use it enough, but I know I will. It's just because I haven't gotten that far in the layout to go jumping into that. Lucifer, how's the cat doing tonight? You and Rob should talk. Sorry, Rob. I actually was cracking up. I was like, "Hey, he keeps leaving you those presents in your office. I mean, at least he knows where to drop them." Oh shit. Oh lordy, lordy, lordy. But anyway, I've been working. If you guys watched Ian's thing last Saturday, he was building the new light towers. I already built one. This is my second one, but I did the same thing I did on the first one, which was, and I put A and B together, put the piece in, but then when I went to put C on, I put it on the wrong side. So what does that do? Well, by the time I get all the pieces in, now I better turn around so you can see it. By the time I get all the pieces in, that hole right up here where the wires go through is not going to be in the right place. So, you don't have to put the ladders in. Last time mine was missing a ladder, and I'm still too new to it to ask for another one, so I just put it together and put the two ladders I did have in it. But anyway, make a long story short, you don't have to put it in. They're not that noticeable. Now, if you have a highly color contrast, you'll see them. And I think mine were yellow because I had red and green for my posts. Or no, it was actually the silver you saw on. It was silver, and then I painted the green and the lights green and red and separated them in all the way around the top. So this is also another 8-way. So what's that? Oh, you have a large mason jar. Yeah, I'm bad about holding on to things, and I call it a purge every year we do. Yeah, it is a bummer because I can pull it apart, but you take a chance on breaking it, and I really don't want to try and glue those pieces. I've had to do it before, and it's a pain in the ass, and it doesn't look right when you're done anyway. So I'm gonna leave it there. I'll just take I'll file out a spot for it to go through, but it'll kind of eliminate my straw idea. And I was talking about that. I did not use metal straws on there, so I'll correct myself on what I said on the live there. What I was using is, as you guys all have seen in a lot of my categories, this is a pack of 300 straws, candy cane. And I usually put whites in them, which I can show you a little bit of that. That's what this is an idea for you guys to use, but don't use it as a Christmas thing. So, I have a collection of lights, and they all do different things, whether they're colors, whether they're flashing fast. Let me see if I can get it separated out there. Flashing fast. These are 5 millimeters. These are 3 millimeters. I have a, if you can see that one at all, it's flickering, but you can't see it very well. Then I've got, if you want your blue for UV, it's there. And then the one I was trying to get to right here. Where's that? I don't see it. Where is it at? I had it sitting over there just so I could show you guys. It's on the last. This one. It slowly changes colors. So you can kind of come up with different ideas for this. But what I'm saying is you take a piece of straw, which I had sitting over here yesterday, and now they're not here. I'll just take the one straw. This is not going to be a good example because I cut them. But let's just say you take, I'll use the flashing one because it'll probably be easier to see. So by the time you stick a straw in it, let's see here. I cover up these lights. This is hard to do. I turn off this light. Now you've got a lit up thing that comes, you know, you put these in the ground, posts, or inside buildings to go lights up, or just to run your power. But yeah, something I'm going to be using a lot of. There's a little secret to what I'm doing with it, but you know, you buy these. They're not expensive. You can buy them all on Amazon. I've been buying different ones. The flickering was one I wanted because I wanted the flame look for a. Let's see if I got that here. Got the right one. So this one, with my printer, I print it out and I cut a hole in the bottom of it. So by the time you put it in there, and I put a little paint on it, so you know, by the time you're done, you can see it flickering. It looks like a fire. And that's kind of the top view. And it's all about building stuff, but ETE, thank you. Thank you. I haven't put this on the layout yet. Sometimes it does get snagged in there because this is filament and it does a 20% infill. So when you drill a hole up through it, the light will actually get caught on the stuff that's still in there, and it makes it sometimes difficult to get back out. I did it with a different thing at one time. I drilled all the way up to the center of it, but I couldn't get all the way to where I wanted to, because when you put the light in, it'd go so far into it, but it would not reach the top where I wanted it to go. Yes, they are 9 to 12 volts on all of them, whether it be the 3 millimeter or the 5 millimeter. The 5 millimeter is what you saw in my start gantry. The green ones that you saw yesterday? Yeah. They're 5 millimeter. And you can actually, if you're buying them on Amazon, you can actually look for those. There's these little black pegs, so you can stick it in the track. Let's see here. I don't got one. Give me just a second. Always when you got one and you don't have it right near you, because I was cleaning up this room last night. But it makes it so you can insert it into your hole, and then the light comes in from behind, and it'll click into it. And that's all you got to do. You ain't got to do no gluing, none of that crap. But you got to hide the wires. And if you guys haven't seen that underneath yet, they build a place for the wiring to slide underneath that whole entire gantry, so you can at least get it over underneath the other part and bring it down, which is what I did. And no, the wiring's not set up right yet, but I reached out to Alex from Axle Box today. Now, don't bother him, but he's looking into it. He's going to test a couple ideas because he thinks he can get those things to link to the control unit so that they will. I want the green lights to turn on when the red lights go off, like you saw in the video. Except if you paid attention, the red wasn't quite off when I hit the green because I had it plugged in on one arm and I was holding the other one to hit the start button, and then I waited for it to get to a certain point, and I thought I had it timed right, but it still went on right before the red light went off. So it's an illusion. But it still came out all right. I could have probably tried to do it a few more times, but I thought it was good enough. You know, I figured the green light would take your attention away from the fact that the red light was still on back there. And it was just an intro I was trying to do. But I have a tendency to talk too much. And the other night, like I said, I was jumping off. I didn't know what I was going to say. I was really not prepared to do everything I was doing. I was excited, but I was, you know what I mean? I'm doing the thing. Where's my lighter? Smoke if you got them, people. Let's see here. Smoke them on the right side if you're going to smoke them. Dave's doing well. Dojo! I haven't been paying attention to my phone. If you guys see him come on live, let me know. Because I don't want to, like I said, they only do that like twice a year, so maybe 3. But I consider that a special event, so I would rather you guys go to that and watch that than me carry on. Plus, I won't lie, I want to see it myself. I don't have a car in it, but I'm planning to. Hopefully this next go around. Our live stream. No, lives are not. But the video I did the other day, I could have done better. I was all over the place. See, I watch my videos after I put them up, even though I've watched them before I put them up in the first place. But when I watch it on the bigger screen, I'm like, man, I was stuttering all over the place and making an idiot of myself. It's just because my brain was trying to think of what I needed to say next because I didn't have it planned out. And then on my live, I don't plan it out. I plan a topic and I try to work from there. This one's more of the construction side for scenery, with the cars. You know, so those of you who like scenery, it makes it a, it just brings it to life. It makes it something enjoyable. And that the other night I was excited because I had that thing in front of there, and I kept going down and looking at it because that's where you start. You're gonna stand there with your controller, and in my case, I even have a chair there, so I can just run the cars while I'm sitting there. You know, I don't have anybody else to race with, so. And you're looking at it and going, yeah, you feel like you're going to a race when you get there. In a weird sort of way, I guess. Big Oaks. Big Oak. Do you have any oaks? Big Oak Raceway? Man, yeah. So, yeah, I'm just a scenery guy. And of course, mine's Christmas themed because this whole thing started. I've told this story too many fucking times. Excuse my. Oh, I'm gonna get tie that word up, throw it out. You know, I've always been I was doing a Christmas train and a Christmas village, and then I bought a slot car track to try and throw cars in it because at the time you couldn't get the Lionel car sets because they were hard to find, and that's how I started this whole thing. And then I put the slot cars away when I couldn't get it to do what I wanted it to do. And then I ended up putting the train away. Then I bought more trains, and then I came back to slot cars. But it was always supposed to be the Christmas theme in my Christmas room, coming up with something new for the scenery in that room. And then somewhere along the line, I did that mistake of trying to keep up with the Joneses. The tracks kept getting bigger, so I thought I had to have a bigger track, and that's what I did. And now then the trains couldn't work because it's hard to. They can work. You got to work around everything. You got to know exactly where you're going with it, and it takes time. As you guys have seen, I've had a few trains. I put the one where it was up above because they're not the same size. The only thing you can get close to with a 132 is using a Lionel plastic train, G scale. That's the closest I've seen you come to a scale for 132 cars on a track layout. And it just so happens I just got one of the new ones today. I had the original one, but it's kind of beat up, and it's got one time it was too close to where I was spray painting, and I got it spray painted. And this one actually smokes. It's not just a light up unit, battery operated. It's battery operated, but it has the water condensation blowing out the top. It just came in today. I actually forgot I had ordered it. And then the other day they gave me notifications like, oh shit, I wanted to cancel that. And so I had another idea, and well, I come home and it's sitting there inside the door when I come in this afternoon. I was like, oh shit. Well, all right, we're good. So now I gotta use it. You'll see it. Still in the box, but I know that's what it is. But so I walked in and go, what the hell is that? Big bucks. So what's new with everybody out there? If I got anything they want to discuss and maybe get some questions or answers. I worry too much. Wait a minute. I can't read it. You worry too much. There ain't no ways that where the assault aren't going to throw darts at you, mate. No, but I don't want to sound like a babbling fool and if nobody wants to watch because I'm talking through it. I actually prefer not to talk at all. My best videos have been when I didn't talk. I got the most view counts when I didn't talk, so that tells me something. My number one video was those SCX Cudas I put on, the yellow and green one, a while back, like on my second track that I put out on the layout. That is still my number one. It's still to this day is being watched. It keeps getting more and more people viewing it. It's still my number one video. I cannot surpass that one. And all I did was play the Hart's Barracuda and ran the car around the track a couple times, and then it was over. And that was it. It was short, sweet, and some nice looking cars, and they ran great. I haven't put them on the track. I haven't put them on the track since. It's sad because they actually run really good. Which Mr. Scriven? Oh, Jeff Scriven. I didn't see you there, buddy. How you doing? Welcome. I seen David, and I was like, well, what Scriven is he referring to? And I was like, oh, okay. I'm bad. Yeah, because I knew we had David, so 66 Slaughter. What did Leon say here? Try to catch up, guys. Oh, is it completely done now? Easy E? I'm sorry. I'm glad it's cooling down there. I put out a thing on Facebook. I think it's supposed to be like 117 here next Tuesday. Yeah, it's warm. And I drive a tanker truck, so I want to be able to touch that thing without burning myself if it's that hot. And it's not even August yet. That's when we get our worst weather, but worst heat. It's July starts it, but August, man, it's like a murder. Trying to catch up with the chat, going faster than I can move. Yeah. Oh, Jeff said hi. Okay. Yeah. Matter of fact, it is good. I don't know how to design. That's where my problem is. I know how to take an item. Let's use my ladder for an example. So this is what the print says the size is going to be. I know how to adjust it so I can make it to the size I want it to be. But I don't know how to. I use that blender. I tried to use it when Dave was talking about it. Yeah, I took a circle and tried to make it into something else. And it was still going to be a rounded edges. By the time I was done, it looked like a triangle, basically, is how I'll just put it that way. I couldn't figure out how to make it work. So, and rather than teach myself, I was like, man, I don't have time for all that. So I still just stay on the printing side. And, I got a caliper up there. I measure by millimeters because all of them work off millimeters. Punch in the numbers, and then it prints out what size I need. And I won't lie, it makes it really freaking easy. Like those pillars I did, the first pillar I ran last night before I ran 6 of them because I ran 1 first, then I put 6 on the garage itself. So when I did that, the first one I ran, I just wanted to know what size it was. I knew the millimeters were wrong, and I had already measured it, but I wanted to see what size it was actually going to look like. And then I came back and I printed the 6 in the actual measurements. They came out great. Now I got to do a little sanding and then paint them, but what's that? What's painting? I'm missing the conversation. Let's see. Yep. And then I got here. No, it's actually fairly simple, and I didn't have instructions when I put mine together. They now have them on site, I guess, because they sent it to me like 2 days after I got the model, and I'd already let them know I had it. And they said, all right, we'll get the instructions out to you. And it was like 2 days or something like that. But I had already built it. It's fairly simple. Of course, I say that, but this is your first set of order from them. Maybe it's not going to be that simple. But they do have instructions. You go online and you punch in that code that's on your top. There you go. Smaller ones will teach you to go. So you're going to look up your number. In this case, it's number 055. And then it's going to ask for you to put a password in when you want to look at it. Well, the password's underneath it. That's why I cover it, because, it's not I'm trying to cover it from you. I'm trying to cover it from, people trying to steal the idea. So here you go. And then you punch in the passcode, and it'll bring up the notes first, and then it'll tell you step by step how to go through it. They do pretty good with them. Now there's some that are a little off, and because they've changed the model a little bit, but that's brand new. You're gonna be good. And if you need help, I'll help you any way I can. Yeah, because it's fairly easy for me. Let me see here. The conversation's getting away from me again. Nick V. See? Thank God it stopped. I would never saw you there. What's going on? Let's see here. Slaughter. Hey, Dave. Yeah, I'm glad what we were talking about the other day about the cars and stuff. I actually brought your name up in my last video. Yeah, you probably saw that. Never mind. I'll shut up now. Don't glue your fingers. If you don't get glue your fingers together, you're not doing it right. Yeah, who did it again? So Lucifer, yeah, if you need help, just give me a call or on Messenger or something like that. I'll get a hold of you one way or another if you let me know. Even if you have to put it on one of my pages on Facebook or I try to get everybody to go to Messenger, because then you could actually put videos up that you don't have to do all the editing out the song that's in the background because it's considered copyrighted. Don't get me started. Oh, you just finished yours? Yeah, it was fairly simple, wasn't it? It wasn't bad. And it just gives it pops for the when you're sitting there. It just pops up your whole pit area where you're starting from. So it's actually good. Me, kind of hit and miss on that, working hard or hardly working. I don't really hardly work anyway. I have one of the best positions in there, but I'm also the senior guy at the company. So I usually I'm local. I go pick up from a rail line, I vacuum it onto my trailer, I take it over and I blow it off. And I get to sit in between all those. It takes about 2 to 3 hours to load and anywhere between 3 to 5 hours to unload. So most of the time I'm just sitting in my truck. That's how I'm able to keep up with everybody. But I get paid well. Well, not as well as I should. Good morning, Shane. Good morning. Hope everything's going all right this morning. Let's see here. I'm still not caught up. Yeah, he's the man of the hour, right? I think it was a great design. I won't lie. I keep saying that it just. I didn't expect that thing to make it pop the way it did. It's kind of exciting when you get one, you put it on there, and you're going, "Wow!" You didn't know you were missing it until you put it on there. So if you haven't gotten one, you might want to head on over to Magnetic Racing out of the UK, and I get mine in 3 days. Anything I order, it's within 3 days. Unless you order on a weekend where they're not there. So like they sent mine out Monday, I got it yesterday. And then it's always been that way. It's always been 3 days from Magnetic Racing for me. I order here in the States. It takes me almost usually about a week or a little over to get anything. A car, yeah, other building stuff, which I don't buy much from him because of that reason. I'm not going to mention any names, but because I'm not here to bring blasphemy on everybody else. So, let's see here. Let's see. Trying to catch up with the thing. All right. Yeah, that's true. Now you don't want to get me started on government. Oh, I've been arguing with it a lot lately. Just everything makes me so freaking mad. Let's not get into that. We're not going to talk about politics. I just think that we could all be a lot freer than we are. That's what. That's any government. I don't care if it's any other country. We could be a lot freer than we are. I don't know who made the freaking rules to begin with. Yeah, that gantry's really cool. It's a Dave-a-thon. How many Daves can we fit in here? Well, Shotgun Dave's at Harry Wise's place right now. I talked to him earlier. Well, I just sent him a message because I originally said I wasn't going to do the live at all, and then I came back and said, I will go on the live if you guys show up, or you pop up on a live, I'll go ahead and end this one so we can all go over there and watch that. And then I put that, I don't know how to put the actual link, but other than put YouTube at Home Racing World, and then jump over there to see it. Resistance. Yeah, right, Dave. The resistance is futile. Most of us should know what that means. Somebody say Tad's here. Did I miss Tad? There he is. Merry Christmas, Tad. Every day is Christmas. Every day. Yeah, well. Yeah, I seen Tad's car earlier. And they keep talking about that truck and trailer you built. I'm like, yeah. I have not bought a 132 car in over a year. So I switched to HO. Now I'm collecting older HO cars and parts and getting back to basics. Yeah, I think I was telling you the other day, I bought that HO set. I have still yet to break the tape on that thing and open it up. I had really planned to do that because I was wanting to do a beginning series with the different, making decisions on tracks and, you know, what the pros and cons are of each one. And then, because, you know, there's a lot of new people coming in. And with F1, the movie coming out and the F1 race being pretty popular this year, I'm thinking this is a good time to get attack with the, hey, you can do this in your own house. So I actually was thinking about a video this weekend, just getting out my F1 cars and just running them around and kind of show a little bit of excitement or something, see if I can get somebody to sway their way and go, hey, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do that because it's a fun hobby, guys. Those of you who are, you know, new to this. So, well, now we got all the Scriven boys here. We got Dad, the two sons. Good morning, Shane. What did I see from Greg? I missed it. I have not bought any raffle tickets. I keep saying I'm going to do it, and I haven't done it yet. Last year, I think I bought quite a few. I didn't win anything. I think the thing most of the time when I see competition or they're giving away something, I usually want to give it to somebody else. I mean, I'm responsible enough to pay for my own stuff. I don't. Now, if it's something really that I can't get a hold of, I'll be all over it. Sorry, I can't give this one away. Because I don't have it myself. But, man, I should have brought Dave on here for the magnetic racing stuff. And by parts, you guys saw my big box of parts. But this is my two little bags of parts. You don't throw anything away. Everything is reusable. We got one smaller than that. I actually stacked all this last night so I could actually bring it up on tonight's show. So, because it's what makes the scenery so good, and you don't have to build what it says it is. You can build whatever you think you want it to be. And I usually try to change what it is in most cases. Like the gas station was a Texaco station. I changed the name and made it a Christmas-themed gas station and lit it up. And, you know, I like detail, so I try to put detail in. I'm not the best painter in the world, but we all can't be like Dave and Shane here. They make some pretty. I like their detail though. I do love the detail they put into things. I just mentioned those two because I see both of their names right here in the chat on the right next to each other, or pretty close to each other. Like, yeah, I got both of them right there. Now my plan is, yeah, the same thing. But like I built, I showed you that garage, the three bay garage with the lights earlier. Remember at the beginning of the video. So this is not going to be what it says it is when I'm done with it. I actually went out of my way to buy that because I had an idea for it. I originally asked them if you could if it had garage doors to put on it, and they go no. You know, we could make you some. I was like, no, that's not really what I want. So, yeah, it'll be a Christmas themed when I'm done. It'll be a surprise when I get there. You won't see that till I plan to try and get a video ready if I get everything done, and I'm not trying to rush. If I don't, I'll work on it next year. But there's a couple things, like I said, that are not on the layout. They won't be on there until I do a video that's I'm wanting to release somewhere right after Thanksgiving, so everybody has a chance to watch it before Christmas, and then do just a small Christmas video for wishing everybody a Merry Christmas. So that's my plan, and that's also why I'm focused so much on the track. And I took a vacation, and I needed that break, and yeah, it just woke me up to a few things and got me back motivated to things. I just burn out just on everything, work. You guys all know what I'm talking about. Every one of us has had a job. You have days or weeks you get burned out, and you're like, I gotta get away from here. But as I always say, I love my job. I hate my environment. UC plays both sides. I missed the conversation. Yeah. You just Shane saying UC's disqualified for conflict of interest. I missed this. You guys are reading the story while I'm bullshit. Mr. Detail. I like detail. I really do. I don't want it to. I don't want to slap something together. It just doesn't do the same. Oh, really? No, I hadn't. You weren't here earlier. I reached out to Alex at Axelvox, and he's looking into it. He says he's got a few ideas. He's just going to run them. He's going to test it, and then get back with me. I can do basic wiring, but those configurations, it's not my knowledge. So I'd rather somebody who has a little, more of an engineering degree to do that than I would do it. But I haven't figured that out yet. The other day I got on a live and I was the second one on and said I was number 2. But then as I went, it showed me number 1. Then I went back down to number 3 because I wasn't commenting. I think it's just the one that's showing the most interest in the chat or something like that. That's what I'm guessing. Let you know who your number 1 person is you're corresponding with. No, I do not. It's funny you bring up that because I was watching a lot of. Actually, I said something to Shane about this last night about lottery tickets. How people lose millions of dollars because they won the lottery, and they're dumb enough to think that they can go out and buy all this shit without any income coming in. That's a dumb move. Yeah, I can understand buying a couple things for yourself, but you live in a house, pay the house off. You don't need a bigger house. What do you need a bigger house for? You were excited enough to buy the house you're in, pay it off. Mine is paid off, but so I could probably buy me another house, right? Going to check on your third printer. You're not supposed to be printing while I'm live? Well, easy. Have a good night then. And if Colt's still watching, he can still watch. So the motor mouse get a crown. Yeah, exactly, Tad. That's why I'm always number 1, 2, or 3. I don't know how to shut up. And it's funny because my work says I never talk. That's because I don't talk to them. Yeah, this is my release of being able to talk to people. So this is what I do. Let's see. I just forgot what we were talking about. Or what I was talking about. Have to be a special ed. Tad DeFingers is winning. Finger always wins. DeFingers is usually everywhere. And if he's not, it's because he's taking a break. I get it. He's been working himself to death. I know that. Everybody calls him by his full name, Ernest. I just call him Ernie. My ex always told me I was number one. Yeah. Did you like that thunder earlier? That one was real close. I swear to God, it cracked freaking really loud, Ted. I was over at Barry Plastics, and man, that thing cracked, and oh my God. Yeah, I'm getting tired of rain. I am so sick of it. I know I was doing is gonna, next week is supposed to. Oh no! Did you see the news? I posted on Facebook, Tad. Next Tuesday, we're supposed to be around 117 degrees heat index. That's gonna be one warm freaking day. We haven't seen that in a while. I think last year we got a heat index of 107, 108 area, but yeah, not 117. Yeah, I posted it up because I was like, yeah, I want to let people know they better bring extra water that day. It's gonna feel like Australia here. That's not good. Yeah, and what does that mean to you guys there? It's hot, or is it just normal for you guys? David, since you brought it up, 117 is 47, huh? Oh, SPV. Have a good night. I hope I didn't run you off. Come back next time. I do this right now. I'm doing it every second Thursday. I'll be going back to every Thursday later on when it gets back into season for slot cards. Yeah. Well, I think today it was 80 something, but it was real muggy. And then when the first part of the storm came through, it really cooled down. I had my window down on the way home. I had my air on still, but I had it on low, and then I just rolled my window down because it was actually pretty cool. But yeah, Steve, have a good night. Thanks for coming out, man. Like I said, I didn't plan a lot because I had talked to them about that show, and I hope somebody else will notify me if I don't see it that they're going live again. They were going over to a friend's house to race a little bit, so I was like, okay. They said that to me, and that's when I was like, okay, I can run it live for a little bit, and if you guys come back on live, I'll shut her down so we can watch. But I'd like to see it too. I like watching built cars and seeing what people do with them. Um, oh, that is pretty hot, 47. Okay. Well, I didn't know. I haven't been there yet. I do stress the word yet. I will make it there. I say that too. No days guaranteed, guys. Um, yeah, yeah. Florida's got to be cooler than us right now. I don't know how it feels out there right now, but I know it's still raining. So otherwise, I wouldn't have one of my dogs down here hiding from the thunder. And yeah, it's that one. Negan likes to run down here and hide under my desk. And then my wife's other little chihuahua likes to do the same. I'm supposed to protect them from this bad storms. Yukon, he don't give a shit, and neither does Maya, the other dog. We have 4 dogs and 1 cat. A week of 45. Yeah, what are some things people are working on or planning to work on for the? Speak of the devil, he's right here below me. They're planning to work on this weekend. I mean, tomorrow's Friday, so I figure everybody's got a project they're planning to work on, or maybe you're not getting into slot cars too much this weekend because you got some other things you're doing. Shane has a collection of knit heat. What? I don't understand the logo. Since I left the Hellfire of Central California. 87 degrees. That's probably a big change for you there, Rob. My dad, yeah, he has a place there in right outside LA, I guess. Now, right now he's in Virginia, total opposite side of the country, but where he lives over in Virginia is it gets about the same weather I get here, just 2 days later. I got my friend Bob's the same way. He usually gets it a day or 2 days later. But then there's times we didn't get the racing tower? Yes, the racing tower. You mean the light tower? Oh, that's next on the list. I got you. I got you. Yeah, I got 3 of those light towers. I mean, I've got. I don't even know how many I got here to build. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 kits still in the bags that haven't been opened. And then I've got the other ones I still am trying to finish up. The buildings for my club and my magnetic racing North Pole version. And what just happened? Oh, my friend Bob just texted me. I heard that shout out. Let's see here. Yeah, a lot of people are enjoying those. The ones that have already. I was surprised how many people already got them. Yeah, those gantries are nice. Like I said, if you guys want to get one, you should. I think they're going to have to make plenty of them eventually. But I thought it was great. You get that's what I'm talking about. Though you had 3 minds get together, and they came up with something that everybody would, or most people would enjoy if they like scenery. How can you get it? That's amazing. Because I'm telling you right now, if this was trains, nobody'd get together and talk about anything. They'll tell you how they put their layout on there, but if you call them or get in touch with them in any way, most of the time they will not help you. They just, because they don't want you to do something better than them. I wanted to continue to make more landscaping additions to my drag strip. Oh, I'd like to add a 3D printed light all the way the strip and add a few small buildings. I get you. You can buy an LED, those LED strips and do that, Rob. Which I'm sure that's what you're thinking. But what scale is that? That's HO on your drag. I'll wait for him to answer that. Well, I'll talk about while we're waiting to answer. It makes you feel better having 2 unopened. Well, some of them I've had for quite some time, and I just haven't ever gotten to them. Well, look what I've done over the 3 years. I've basically tore my track down, quite a few times, and I've never gotten to the point where I need to put all the stuff on there. Now I'm at the point I got to figure out where they're going to fit. The track's staying in place; it's not changing, so I have to make everything fit the way it needs to fit. So I'm gonna have to start building everything. Like I said, I've got a huge thing over here outside this room that goes on the layout around Christmas time, and it's huge. But got to be 125. It's got to be what's 125? Oh, wait a minute. Did Rob answer? I didn't see it. I figured you may need to take the blue pill. Yeah, I can say the same thing about it. I can take the blue pill too. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. Oh, there we go. Like Magnetic Racing does more than just 132 scale, so they do 124, and is it 164? I think they do, or is it 143? Oh, you talking about Chevy trucks? The 85, 86. Yeah, those were the best ones, weren't they? The square bodies. Yeah, I always like the square bodies. Yeah, I own an 80, 19 or 2018 truck, Chevy truck, Silverado LT. And my sister, who's 8 years younger than me, says, "That's an old man's truck." Where the hell did you get that from? I mean, it's got a little bit of square edge to it, but it's still nothing like the 80s pickup trucks. I always loved the square body Chevys. They were great. I had they were that way in the 70s a little bit too. I had a 77, and I actually mentioned today that I had a 68 Ford pickup truck for my first car. And it ran all right, other than I ran through I turned at a place I shouldn't have turned because I didn't have the right of way. It tore my bumper off. Well, it did. It somehow shifted the frame. I kept dropping the carrier bearing out of it. I was having to replace it every 2 months. And I ended up giving it to my dad, and he gave me his car. Which at that time, that was my first Oldsmobile, guys. It was a 1979 Olds Calais. They only made like 1,000 of them. So the Cutlass Supreme sold really well, but these were actually better than the Monte Carlos in 1979. So they were actually, those 1,000 sold out pretty quick. They're very rare to find now. I know one in the whole area around me. That's down in Owensboro, Kentucky. So that's, yeah, but I've had, 4 Oldsmobiles. It's a GM car, but I've loved the Cutlass body frame. I just love it. I think it looks sleek. I know a lot of people look at the Chevelle and go, "Oh, it's a Chevelle." It's the Cutlass just has a better look to me. That's just, it's all opinion. That's everything on here. Your hobby, it's an opinion, whether you like it or not. Brown C10. Brown's my favorite color on a car too. Damn. Dad, sounds like your dad had the right thing. I'm getting way off subject again. I don't really have a whole lot. Well, how long have we been going here? I'm trying to figure out. Oh, well, almost an hour. That's probably going to be good enough. I mean, I don't want to take up too much time, and I have some things I need to do. Now, I'm sure they're going to be doing a live here before too long, unless it gets too late. But you know how it is, if guys get together and race on a track, you could be there all freaking night not thinking about another thing except the next race. That would be fun. I would love to do that. But not with Tad, because I don't like circle tracks. Hey, look. Left turn. Oh. I used to be a NASCAR fan. I ended up dropping it later. I got out of it for a little bit of time, and I just couldn't get back into it after that. Lost my interest in it. That and a whole lot of envelopes and stickers. Yeah, people are trying to convince me to go ahead and get some made. So I may have to do that. Did you ever get yours, Fox and Walls? I know I sent one out to you guys. I know David got his. So I sent out I think it was 8 of them. My first initial send out. And I've only seen a couple of them show up on video. So I don't know who got them and who didn't. But I've got everybody. If you send me something or I have any way of getting your information for an address, I mean, I save everything so I can put the addresses down in the book. Now I can get back in there. That way I always have your address and I can send you things, unless you don't want me sending things, you enjoy your privacy. You have not received it yet. I don't understand that. Because I thought David took a long time to get his. I was starting to wonder if it even made it. And then he finally showed up with it on his channel this week, I think. Yeah, the beginning of the week. So maybe it's this week or maybe by the weekend, maybe for you guys. Well, depends on how your mail system works. I don't think they work on weekends, do they? That sounds right. Brad used car system. Oh, is that a question? Well, if you don't get it in the next week or so, I'll just send another one out. I'm planning to print some this weekend, but if I buy some, I won't be doing that either. So I'll resend everybody one. I thought the last ones turned out all right. I just couldn't change anything. I mean, I don't have I can't change picture sizes unless I put it in InShot on my phone, and then I can print it out to my printer behind me. And then, but you can actually set up a grid for it and make it smaller and bigger that way. That's the only way I can change picture sizes. So it's a lot of hit and miss getting the right size. Mine had a white 72 Chevy pickup shortbread. The last good year, because that's when they stopped, or after that, they stopped using the Canadian metal. And that's why the trucks have started rusting out so damn bad, Tad. 72 was the last year they used that Canadian metal. So you Canadians out there, yeah, you guys made good metal for our Chevy trucks back in the day, and our dumbasses let it go. We went to a cheaper metal and it rusts. Your first truck was a 76 F-150? I had a 77 Chevy Silverado, black. I ended up losing it. I drove that thing until the transmission, the reverse transmission went out. Yeah, a damn Ford. Yeah, I know. I actually was using it on a cable job back when I was in cable services, and I went out to this place and I had no issues ever doing anything. Every once in a while, it clunked a little hard when you put it in reverse. Well, I just happened to get done with the job. I got the truck to back out from where I was sitting, and it just, you heard it come out, and then all of a sudden it clunked, and I had nothing. So I had to push that bitch backwards so I could get out of there. 61 Apache, 40 in the driveway, fixing the wiring. Ah. It's interesting to hear what people's cars were. I remember, I think it was Dave that Slot he was talking about 2 years ago at his fest about, I think about the van, right? Is that right? Your camper or whatever? I don't know what you guys call those things over there. My second was a 77 GMC 354, but that's what mine was. It was a 77 350. As a matter of fact, that was the last, let me think, that was the last V8 I owned until this truck. My 2003 Chevy was a V6, and I had it for 14 years. It was a good truck. I didn't want to get rid of it, but I originally tried to trade it in on I actually bought a 2016 before this red one out here, the 18, and I traded it in, but they gave me more money than I was paying for it, so I traded in for the maroon, even though I like the black. Can't keep it clean, but you know. So yeah, when I got back at a V8, I was like, holy cow. 16, I had 14 years in that other Chevy truck, 6-cylinder, and I used that for a cable truck originally before I became a truck driver. So that was actually funny. Yeah, because I got back in it, and me and the wife took it around the block over there in Owensboro, and the new Chevy, and I go, well, I haven't had a V8 in a long time. Let's see what this bitch can do. And I turned out of the parking lot, and I was burning rubber. It was smoking good. She was scared to death. I scared the shit out of her. She goes, don't do that again. Well, I did it again when I turned around to come back. So. I almost lost it that time because it actually got away from me on the rear end. So I've done it one other time since then, and when I did it, I actually did too sharp of a turn, and I ended up busting the front rim because the truck looked like it was ready to flip over because I was at work and it's on an angle parking lot. So when I went to turn around, I did it wrong, and I blew the tire, and then I found out later the rim was cracked. So I got new rims on my truck now, but Pro Street crazy that the old 350s had them, and the new turbo 4-bangers have 310. Yeah, that's the thing. They made all these freaking rules and regulations at the beginning of the 70s and took a lot of the power away from these cars. And then your new cars now can run faster than they ever could. Well, looky there. Slot car daddy. How we doing, Ted? You have a 54 F-100, your first vehicle. I wish I still had some of my earlier vehicles. But that's just like your toys. Now you go on eBay and you look and you go, really? They want that for one of those toys? I was like, holy shit, I had that. I can be rich right now. the old metal Tonka trucks, and I had actually, believe it or not, one of those cab over Ford pickup trucks in a Tonka. And I think the last thing I did with it, I took a cylinder brick and smashed it. Been a while since we've seen you, Ted. Thank you for coming out. It's a project now, along with all your other projects. Is that what you're saying? Oh, I thought Fox and Wall said Ted Bundy. Like, no, that's not Ted Bundy. Or is he? He could be. No. We really got into talking about vehicles. That's good conversation. I mean, it is kind of an open forum. My dad had a 74 Cheyenne 4x4, and we thought he'd leave it for us, but he gave it to a friend in trade. I get it. My uncle, he was into the Plymouth Dusters and Gremlins, not Gremlins. The Duster and the, what's the other version of it? Yeah, it was the Gremlin. So, my first car was supposed to be a Plymouth Duster 3-speed on the floor. I just needed to get a windshield for it, and I was buying it from him for $300. And the funny thing is he had a whole freaking property piece with nothing but those cars. That was the best running one. That's why I went for it. But I ended up going after. I wanted a pickup truck, so I ended up taking out a small loan with my little help from the dad, and it was $1,000 for that '68 Ford pickup, and it had Corvette exhaust underneath it, '67 Cougar bucket seats. It was a nice truck. It had a brand new paint job on it. It was just white, nothing big. But I was going to Boonville High School. I took one of the stickers from Boonville High School, put it on the front. It looked really good. I bought a radio for it. So I don't have, not everything's bad. I had a '72 Land Cruiser. Holy cow. Well, if you can't tell, Ted, we're talking about cars. Our first cars, or what we used to like to drive. I mean, it kind of fits the hobby because that's why we collect cars. I know that's a bad word to say, collect cars. I never had any intentions of having as many cars as I do. I thought, I'll have 5 or 6 of them just to have different varieties to run when people come over and race, and they'll look at me now. And that was not keeping up with the Joneses. That was just because, I wanted the car. I picked my cars by livery. I watched races when I was a kid. I followed NASCAR for a little while, and my uncle raced in bomber class versions on dirt tracks, and so I grew up around racing, but I just never really got into it that big. Just like TV, never really got into it that big. I'd rather be doing something else. Get cruising around. Let's see here. You be cruising around in it, yeah. Mach 1 Mustang with the 351 Cleveland, right? Yeah, that's a good motor right there. My uncle had 2 of them, and I was going to buy one of his bomber class cars, and he had 2 of them, but one had gotten flooded because he had a little river run right by his house, a little stream, and it flooded one year, and that one was sitting in the garage still, and it got flooded. He goes, you'd have to rebuild it, but he goes, I'll sell them both to you. And I was like, I ended up buying the car. No, I didn't. I was going to buy the car, and I did not do it. He ended up giving it away. It was a Ford Torino, believe it or not. Had the roll bar and everything in it. It was the one he raced when he was in there. Because he had 2 properties, and he just kept these cars on them. And, yeah, crazy. Brad, it's a 350 roller 471 GMC blower set for. See, this is a lot of big talk about cars. Now, my friend Bob, that I mentioned his name earlier, out in Virginia. He had what was that, Bob? A 327 under the hood of that 4-wheel drive truck. I thought that was the most amazing Chevy truck in the world because you can park all 4 of them from a standstill. What's not an Aussie icon? Blower. No drama. Well, I guess they haven't gone live because everybody's showing up here. Beautiful. I like having my lives go a little bit and we can talk about different subjects. But I would like to make my lives more about building, whether it be cars or buildings going forward. I'm just trying to vamp the channel so I have more of a plan for it, and then we can talk. That could be how it starts off, and then I'll go to the, we can just chit chat because I don't want to lose that. That's kind of a men's health thing. Just a Thursday night and be able to chat and talk about whatever subjects we want to talk about. But I do want to have a format going forward, and I'm working on it. I just haven't gotten there. There's too many ideas get in my head, and I go, yeah, well, I can't cover all that. So, stuff to 429 and a 55 F100. Holy shit. Do you have too much torque? Did it bend the frame? That's what I want to know. I knew a guy that put a V8 in a Fiero. It didn't last long. Oh, get the message. Must be Bob. I'll bet it's my friend Bob. What did I say it was? Oh, it was a 327. Not the 4. I said 427, didn't I? My bad. Yeah, he's let me know it was a 327. He still got that truck too. I'm sure he's gonna say something about it because I've tried to buy it from him. He won't sell it. He won't get rid of that truck. His dad's. What did you and your dad that put that together? That me and my brother were with him, and we all got that truck, and he, from a dead stop, just barked all 4 tires. I was like, holy crap. Yeah, my uncle, it was my Uncle Larry. He had a lot of Ford Torinos on this one property. There was like three or four of them, and then he had other versions of Fords over there. But then he had Dusters and Demons at his living quarters house, and it ran into a neighborhood. Sold it half hour after it ran to a neighbor. Oh. Well, you did all that work and then just sold it that quick? The 289. My buddy Rick in high school, I think he had that in his Cougar, Mercury Cougar. Was the 289. I think that's what it was. Yeah, no drama. Yeah, well, this guy put a V8 in just to see if he could do it. He did it, but the first time he went, Green River Road here in Evansville used to be a cruising strip. Tad could tell you the same thing. And I guess he took it out there. I wasn't with him, but I guess when he decided to race somebody with it, he took off the line. He took off, and then it bent the whole freaking frame up. So it was done. So I just thought it was a cool idea that somebody did that. Actually got one in it. I don't know how I know he tubbed it out, but I don't know enough about cars to say how he got it in there. But I know when I looked at it, it looked like it shouldn't be there because it was really tight. Fiero GT, that's your dream high school car. There's somebody around here that still drives one. You don't see it very often, but it still looks almost brand new. I guess it's garage kept. And it's red. I've seen it. I don't know if Tad's seen it. Maybe he's seen it too. Beautiful car. They were the dream cars back in the 80s. I won't lie. They were nice looking cars. Well, I don't think they ran that well, is what I'm thinking. Yeah, because there was a lot of them always in the shops, from what I remember. Thank you, Ted. I'm almost done with it. I was talking about that in the beginning that I kind of rushed that video. Just trying to promote the start gantry, and then so I was really kind of jumping around on my wording because I didn't have it planned out at all, and I just finished that over the weekend, but I wasn't done. And so when I put it all together, I just said, well, I'm not going to just talk about that. I'm going to talk about this too, kind of show you what it did. So that's what I pulled off. But I wish I had had more time to plan it out, what I was going to say. I like to plan my conversations. That's my problem. Because my brain just snaps so fast. Yeah. That's why I keep a notepad near me now when I'm around trying to remember things so I can write it down. Just like the HRW, which is what I was talking about earlier. If it comes on, we'll shut it down. HRW Jalopy Challenge Summer Showdown. And one driver had already turned his cars in, and you can get this better. I think Harry talked about it on one of his posts the other day. He's calling it the Mongo Bubba Run in honor of that guy passing away. And, I think he passed away 2 weeks ago is what he said. But I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that the Mongo Bubba Run was what it was being dedicated to, and that was the name of this run series. It all made sense to you? Well, I do a lot of when I can't figure out what I'm going to say. And I hate when I do it. When I know a name and I can't remember it when I'm trying to say it on the... I told somebody I told my wife, I said, I need cue cards or something in front of me so I could just read off the cards. I'm starting to remind myself of Biden. Oh, did I say that out loud? I didn't know him, but, it's just sad when you know that somebody in our, I think for the most part, we're all friends. We get along to a certain degree. We may not like living next to each other and hanging out every day, but we're all into the same thing. And then when you hear about one of them passing away, even whether you knew him or not, it's sad. Especially when he's holding the car when he did it, and he's like, yeah, he goes, he sent this car in and blah, blah. It was a good story. So if you have a chance, it was on 2 days ago, I think, on Harry Wise's channel, HWR, and go back and take a look at it. I guess it was a pretty good friend of his too, so you need to get the band back together again. Yeah, I agree. Ted and Rob, they had a good thing going there. But, guys, life gets in your way sometimes. You can't always stick with what you got. We know that Rob had to move. That's no easy, fun task at all, especially since he's moving quite a ways away from where he was. I get it. Life gets in the way. I'd love to do this shit all the time, but, it doesn't pay the bills, right? That was the other one. Yeah, teleprompter. I just type it in on the computer. It's all ready to go, and I just let it start reading off beyond where you can see me. Or I can read it right there because I wasn't in the video that night, so I could just sat there. Hey guys, this is a... I saw a great looking GT with a Volkswagen pan. Where'd I get the neon signs? What are you talking about? This one behind me? I ordered it on Amazon. Matter of fact, yeah. Shane Hughes has got one. I ordered the same one, or ordered a similar one. They make it to your name, so if you want one, you could... my wife's got it on her phone, the actual one she ordered from. That's why I ordered Shane's, and that's where she got mine. I'll get with her. I'll get it to you. It does. It kind of gives you something when you're... I was originally going to put it in the other room. She told me if I want to do something in the other room later when I get to doing lives or stuff in there, she'll get me a bigger one for that room because, this one's... It's not super big. It's a little bit smaller than my hand. But it's just enough to kind of promote a little bit. So you know what you're watching when you look at it. Let's see here. I gotta get off there. There we go. Not that I don't have my name right here in the corner. We got neons being made as we speak. Oh, do you? Yeah. I only turn it on when I do the lives. When I first got it, I was going through all the... I think there's like 18 freaking different modes in it. But I don't like the flashing. It's really bright. It's like almost a strobe effect, and so I don't think it would work good on here. But it's simple. But it's got nice things on it. You can do a slow fade, and fades back in and out. They're really cool. But and as a matter of fact, if you watch Shane's channel, he's usually got it behind him as well. It just gives that nice highlight of what you're watching when you first come onto the... Let's say you're just scrolling up and down on your your videos and that just happens to come up, you'll see the sign or something like that. You go, oh yeah. Not that you couldn't miss Shane's mug when he's on there. I know he's still here, or he was. Yeah, I had no idea it was coming. My wife got it for me. Actually, it was a Father's Day gift, and we don't buy Father's Day and Mother's Day gifts for each other because she's not my mom and I'm not her dad. But she got that, and I guess the boys all pitched in. All the kids pitched in on it. I think it was over $100 or something like that. I don't remember. I know Shane's was over 100. I paid for that one. um, it depends on where you go. There's several people that do it, so just look at them. How Clearwater? You need a 3D printer. We're gonna ramp up your lifestyle real quick. You're gonna have a neon sign. You're gonna have printers. My resin printer is shot. I need to buy that screen all over again, and I hope that fixes it because I don't know what else to do with it. It's sitting over here, and I was gonna move it the other day, and I realized it's still got some kind of a leak on it because it's right around one of the legs underneath. It's I wiped it up one time a couple weeks ago, and now there's another pool of it there, and I'm like, what the? It's fresh. So I don't know. It's just it's honestly it was great for building my characters. Thank God I built a lot of characters before it went down. But it's a messy freaking job. I just don't like it that much. Yeah, your prints came out nice quality. You didn't have to do much sanding. But I mean, the really only reason I wanted it was for people, the characters to put on my layout. Because if you order them on eBay, they want $23 for one person. Just an old redneck. Yeah. I grew up on a farm. I know what you're talking about. Now everybody, I had a guy. Oh, somebody told me the other day I was a city slicker. I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Yeah, you're used to. I was like, "No, I'm used to the internet." You can't get that very well out in the country. Uh, my best job was working on a farm when I was a kid. We worked for a farmer around the corner, but he had a hog farm and we had the fields in the summer. I made $5 an hour back then. That was good money. It was way more than minimum wage. Matter of fact, it financed me and my brother to go to North Carolina to visit my aunt so we could go see the ocean for the first time. And I can't remember how much we took. I'll tell you what, we were broke when we came back. We spent every dime. You had what's that? I hate. Oh, put out some tobacco spittoons. Yeah, that is. I smoke, guys. I can smell it, and I know it's a bad smell. That chewing thing, when you see somebody just spitting into a bottle all the time, and you're using their Pepsi bottle or Coke bottle, and it's clear, and you see, and you're just like, I'm sure that's what my lungs probably look like too. But doc told me to stop. I gained too much weight. I haven't yet. I lost the. I used to play with spoons. Okay, I'm not that old. Got sick on Redmond once. Did you swallow it? I tried the pouches at one time. I just wanted to see what all the hoopla was about because a lot of people I knew were doing it. I did like the flavor, but it made you look like a monkey all day with it stuck underneath your lip. I'm looking at laptops, then maybe a 3D printer. I got this laptop last year. It wasn't the top of the line. It wasn't the bottom of the line. It does not have a Ethernet cable plug-in. It's all wireless. That's the only downfall. Because I'm on the farthest wall away from my slot car room. That little hallway off the side there is where my modem is, and so it doesn't reach here very well. Sometimes I have problems with, and the biggest problem I have is usually with YouTube or when I was using Cults 3D. But if I use Thingiverse, I went to Thingiverse last night for a minute because I was looking for something in particular, and it flies. So I don't know if it's the programming on Cults 3D, But I know YouTube has been a nightmare to get going. I mean, I'm actually worried that this it'll record and it'll show the show later. But I've had a few where I went back and it was cutting up all over the place. I didn't even know it was doing it. So shoot out Pete. Just think about it. The guy, I can't see that one. The guy had a supervised cup filled with spit on the counter and at work. Actually spilled it on himself. Ooh. Yeah, I bet a new rule is instituted right away. Yeah, Thingiverse. Thingiverse. Go play with your thingies. I don't have a problem with anybody doing anything, I I think it's ridiculous the taxes they keep putting on, especially since Indiana did it and Kentucky didn't. I can still get cigarettes at regular price in Kentucky right across the river, but I'm paying a freaking god awful fortune here now for a pack of cigarettes. It's ridiculous. I don't even smoke these Marlboro Black Golds is what I'm smoking right now. I'm a Camel smoker, but I usually only buy 2 packs on Friday, and that's what I smoke for the weekend, just so I can say I'm still smoking my brand. The rest of the week, I'm smoking this crap, and it's the stuff they picked up off the floor from when it didn't get produced in the first cigarette. That's how I imagine anyway. That's why it's so much cheaper. So it's a bad habit. I was a jock in high school, so that was never part of my thought process, was smoking. And then a couple years after that, I was, sitting in Virginia, got in a fight with my uncle, got in a fist fight with him, or something like that. My brother gave me the first cigarette I ever had, and I just got really high off of it because you smoke it in, you're like, oh Jesus criminy. Well, I liked it, so I bought my first pack. It was like a week later. I was bumming off my brother. He goes, you start buying your own. But a pack would last me pretty much all week. You quit smoking? That's awesome. Yeah, my wife just quit one day. She just stopped. She's like, I'm done. I've smoked the filterless Camels. I've been there. I prefer a filter. Grandpa rolled his own. I remember rolling my own sometimes with the little roller things. But wait a minute. The price. My eyesight sucks. Rolled his own. Remember him sitting there in his Prince Albert can and licking the paper like he was rolling a joint. You probably did that when you weren't looking. Rob, you have a good one. Yeah, I had to deal with. You said your grandpa, so yeah, I've had enough of those grandkids now that they're asleep. Yeah. No drink or smoke. Wow, you're sticking with it. Good. I know you said you were quit giving all that up. I could. I just feel like it, I guess. Then what is Marty doing? Because he's lost a lot of weight. I actually was watching his live last night, and I'm getting worried about him. Actually, he looks like he's lost so much in a short amount of time. I'm actually worried about him. As far as drinking, I don't drink. I could care less about alcohol. I do not like the taste of it in anything. I have not found one thing that I could drink it. I just have to stomach if I want to get that buzz off of it, like at New Year's Eve. I'll do some Jello shots or something just to get it in there, or some Everclear, just get the high going. I do not like the taste of alcohol. Yeah, my brother's just the opposite. Loves beer, loves it. Yes, Ted. Yeah, keep it up. Non-alcoholic. Well, I'm sure to a certain point you enjoyed the taste at a certain point in time, so you kind of probably missed the taste of it because it was something that was normal to you every day. Yeah, the carnivore diet. I gave up booze in February 2019 and 100 pounds over a few years. I need to lose. I was losing some weight, and then I feel like I've gained it back here recently. I was actually going the other direction, and it's kind of upsetting because I know I'm not going to be what I was in high school, 165 pounds in high school, soaking wet, but, um, I'd like to get back down where I was before I became a truck driver, which was like the 240 area, because I still look damn good and I could hold my own. Too crazy, definitely less. I drink beer. Try not to get too crazy. I wouldn't have anybody to drink beer with if I did have it. So that would make me, a lot of people think it's because, oh, you're an alcoholic because you drink by yourself. No. I've been through the program. My dad was an alcoholic, so um, I went through, actually, the whole family went through it at that time. I lived with him. My brother didn't go through it because he didn't live there, but he was too. Yeah, I was a defensive end and a middle linebacker, whichever one they needed me to play. But the thing is, I didn't have the weight for that linebacker position. I was fast. Yeah. I miss those high school days of football, but don't we all? We have one thing we always miss in our lives. Like going back in time, what would you do different? I don't think I'd change too much. I'd have been a little nicer to a couple people. Um, and if I had the knowledge I have now, I'd probably have been better at football. I drink alone. Nobody. I already was singing it the second I saw it. Then I seen you put the music notes on there. Throw good. These kids, Greg, Greg, Todd, you're a youngster. I don't know how old. How old are you? I'm 53. I act like I'm 17. Till my spine damage, got drunk and fat for a while. Truck driving got me big really fast because you're bored, and I have a problem with being bored. So I think that's why my lives are going so long. I just keep talking because I don't want to go into the part where I finish up and then I go, well, now what am I going to do? Because I can't stand sitting still, not doing something. So 69. I remember, no drama. I remember 50. Good times. I didn't have a problem with any age. I think when I turned 40, I actually had the 50 category stage in my head. I was just like, you know, I always thought I'd be dead at an early age from when I was a kid. I had it in my mind I'd be dead by 50, 60 years old. And so to me, that was, but when I turned 40, I was wishing for another 20 years at least. I was 50, 19 years ago. Hey, I'm older than some of these people in here, damn it. I'm not sure which ones, but I am. I'm not in any hurry to get older, let me tell you. At 50, you already get a taste of it and you don't want it anymore. Well, yeah. What was that? I missed that one. I can vouch for the reckless younger years will rear its ugly head as the years roll on. Yeah. Yeah, I used to do a lot of dumb things. Surfing on the back of cars. I was up for anything. I to a certain degree. I did not get into the drug thing. Um, I did smoke a little weed when I was in my early 20s, and I didn't like it, so I stopped that too. It's just, I think it's after I smoked that guy's house out from making fish sticks and passing out on the couch. Feel so relaxed. Yeah, exactly, Tad. Yeah, every morning. Well, it's mainly my shoulders that bother me. Uh, I actually did the damage at work, and then here's what the problem was. Just like every other person that works in their life, he goes, "You're going to be down for 8 weeks. You won't be able to work for 8 weeks." And I went, "The hell, I won't be. I can't go that long without a paycheck." I mean, I had the insurance to get the, uh, yeah, the medical, but they only pay 60% of your pay, so that's not enough. I don't understand. You pay into this stuff, and then they keep most of it. Other than I think they're what now? When's it supposed to start? Next month? Overtime will not be taxed. Well, I hope not, because everything's getting really expensive and we're not getting any more money. You thought your daughter was old at 30. Your oldest son's 21. My oldest one will be 30 in December. The youngest one is 25. That's 5 kids, so. I have a grandson, 31. Well, we are all pretty old, aren't we? How do we get on to age? This will be depressing. Need to play some Glory Days. That's what we need. Glory Days. We'll tell all our stories just like the song. Wishing you could go back, right? I just want to blame my guidance counselor in school for not telling me the things I should have been told before I went into adulthood. You're not depressed. Neither am I. I've been doing a lot better with my medication change. I don't get as depressed as I was. And then that vacation did a lot of wonders for me. That's how I got motivated to get back into this. He's working as a plumber for a plumbing company. He's union, I'm guessing, Ted. How old Hubs and Dave? Daughters about 34 and 30. I miss having my kids younger. I miss that part. It's still every once in a while feels hard to get into that empty nest syndrome. But then when they show up here on the weekends, go swimming in the pool or something like that, you're just ready for them to go home. You're like, okay, you can go now. I got things to do. 79, 51, and 48. You just gave out their numbers. Good thing we're not a bunch of women here. Oh, not yet. He just started. Oh, okay. So he's doing an apprenticeship at first, correct? Jim, you have good boys. Good for him. Yeah, I mean that's a pretty decent job here in America. I mean, it kills me some of these people that will pass up opportunities like that. I mean, I originally wanted to be an electrician. I'm glad I didn't get into it, but at the same time, I knew I'd have had a decent life, but I could have been dead too. You never know. Hey, I'm an apprentice. Hey, what do you do when you do this? Lights out. You throw in the ball in the backyard from a Walker and Williams. You know, I hope I'm still kicking around and being a mean son of a bitch when I'm older, and I can do that to people walking down the street. Hey, you! Just be the one that, the little kids all go, just because I spoke to them. Other than that, the problem is I don't have any friends to sit out on the, I don't know. I have a front porch, but I don't have a swing on it. You get some chairs on it or something, and I don't have a friend to sit with me, and we sit there and drink coffee in the morning and just sit there and make fun of all the people walking by. I mean, you look at it, most people are making fun of old people when they're the ones that have lived already. You know what I mean? They know more about life than you will ever think about. When I was in church, when I was a kid, we went to a nursing home. It was one of the things we were basically kind of adopt. Well, I'll say it's adopted geezer now, but I remember what it was called, and I found it very interesting to hear the man I went to is me and this other girl that we were on him every time we went there, and just hearing the history and not knowing some of these things, you're like, holy shit, you didn't realize how bad or how good you got it, So, I don't have any grandkids yet. Grandkids 6. The 6th is on his way here in 2026, January. That's good. Now, my brother's even 4 months younger than me. He's got three, four. I think it's 4 grandkids right now. He had kids before I did. My granddaughter would eat the car. That's why you keep those up on the higher levels. You put you keep them clean, but you put your other cars down lower. If they get a little chewed on, you're not while they're teething. It's not so bad. And you just put it up on the shelf after they're done doing that, and you'll have it for life. Remembering your granddaughter or grandson being that little and chewing on your car. I I enjoyed every weekend. We went there on Saturdays every freaking weekend, and I remember we just going there. I don't remember when I stopped. I really don't. And he just tell these stories and tell about things the way they were back then, and he was very clear headed about everything. And he was a really super nice guy. Yeah, it was. I'm not a big fan of history anyway. Um, my girls drove Power Wheels to go karts. Driver's license was easy. See, I grew up on a farm, so yeah, license came second nature to me. I used to drive a grain trucks and an old International to haul things around, pigs or hogs or whatever. And I can see Fox. I can see Fox, and I know you're there. Your pods. How do you like that one? I don't know what I was trying to do either. It's 8 o'clock here. Yeah, Chris is gonna now say it's 9 o'clock here. He does that to me every time. Oh, I'll work on my mime skills so the next time that happens, I'll be ready to go. Can you read lips? Yeah, I knew you were gonna say it, Chris. You always say it. 9 o'clock. Yeah, I should probably get off here. They didn't come live, so I feel good that I actually still went on because I originally was gonna just cancel it because I thought they'd be on. Um, yeah, it's my clock up here. I bought this thing because it's a countdown, and I had it set up for. You could actually set the countdown for retirement. Believe it or not, it goes that far up. But I bought it for a Christmas countdown thing, and for some reason the time always jumps. It goes up to 2 minutes faster, no matter what I do. I put it on the time, follow my phone, but sync it right up to it. Eventually, it's 2 minutes ahead again, real quick, within a couple of weeks. So I just did that. I want to say 2 weeks ago, but 11, 12 a.m. Your day's just getting started. Yeah, I forget about that when I call you guys down there because you're like, yeah, they're probably at a job or, you know, they're it's it's just middle afternoon. Most people don't talk to each other until evenings. Oh, where? No, how? Never kissed a chicken. What? I'm losing it. I missed that conversation. I gotta go back real quick. So Ted, hold on a second. Uh, what's going on? Does a chicken have lips? I get it. I get it now. Okay. I did clear one. I was trying to figure out because it only has so much on here, and I was like, oh, I gotta go back to find out what the hell was said in the first place to prompt the whole thing. So, it's been fun. Uh, I'll have a better thing going for next week. I did show the buildings off. I did talk about a couple things, and if you guys have a chance, the big part of the home racing world this weekend is Saturday, I think, and maybe Sunday. But yeah, you want to check it out. These cars are being built by these guys. They're pretty proud of them, and they're really nice looking cars. It's fun to watch them, and gives you ideas if you ever decide to build a car, what you would want to do. I think the models right now, what are they, Tad? 30s, 30. Was it 34, 32, 32 and up? Uh, Oh yeah, Clearwater. I'm going to be doing that. If you guys haven't noticed, I didn't say that. If you haven't noticed, I haven't been hitting everybody's channels as often as I used to. Because if I'm watching channels, I told this to the fingers the other day. If I'm watching channels all the time, I'm not working. So I've been trying to watch your lives, but I won't be talking a lot because I'm trying to focus on getting some of my stuff done while still getting a chance to hear what you guys have to offer as far as showing your new cars off or your track or what you've done. And so I don't mean I used to be on the spot Johnny and like the fingers was, I was there right away. As soon as anything popped up, I was all over it. There's so many channels now, it's hard to keep up with everybody. I'm sure it's hard to keep up with me or, you know, anybody else you're trying to keep up with. It's just that way, which is a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. So, on that note, guys, it's been a pleasure. I'm glad y'all came out and had a little fun with me. Made it a good Thursday night. And then we're ready for the weekend, right? Brad checked the chickens for lit. You guys are still going. Jesus Christ. All right. Good night, everybody. Ah, crap. That's funny. Let's see. Let me see if it'll let me do my outro. Nope. Keep saying start by upgrading. That doesn't make any sense. All right. Well, good night, guys.